Coach, state your first and last name.
Shawn Gibbs.
Can you spell it out for me?
Okay, spelled the right way. Shawn. And Gibbs.
So my first question is, do you think mental health concerns are an issue in college sports, like for college athletes?
Absolutely. But, not only for college athletes, I think it's an issue for everybody involved in athletics, coaches and support staff, and everybody's becoming a major issue. And then, in the African-American community, it's kind of been something that was kind of people stayed away from and didn't address. So it's years of damage that haven't been addressed. And, now is a great time for us to bring awareness to it because people deal with a lot of stuff. And, back in the day, it was just you were thought of as soft or whatever if you expressed yourself or said you were feeling this way or that way. But now we have some resources, so we need to take advantage of them. I've had, quite a few players that have been dealing with stuff, and earlier on in my career, I didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
But probably within the last, let's say, probably 6-7 years, it's been brought to my attention and a little bit more aware of. My wife works in mental health, so she educated me a little bit on it. But I've seen some bad episodes, and fortunately, a lot of those guys have, kind of bounced back and they're doing better now. But it's definitely an issue.
Yeah, I see it. Playing basketball.
Right. And then the stress of athletics doesn't help. You got to worry about going to class, and then you got your coaches on you about doing stuff right, and then the pressure of your peers to whatever they're trying to influence you to do. So it's a lot of stress. So definitely something that you can see wearing on people.
Exactly. Next question: what are the things you feel college athletes should do to deal with this? I know you kind of listed a couple of things.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is admit it. Admit that I have some issues, and then go seek help, and talk to somebody. We got trained professionals on this campus, that are there to help us out, help us through those situations. So the first thing you got to do is admit that you need help, and then I would say, talk to a coach that you trust, or a player that you trust, or maybe Tiffany or somebody like that, somebody that you trust, and see if they can help you. But you have to talk about your problems. You can't hold them in. Well, a lot of us are carrying around too much of a burden, and eventually it's going to catch you.
And then last question: there has been studies that have shown that social media has affected college athletes on and off the floor and field. Do you have any input on the situation?
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and I think it's had a negative.
Yeah, it definitely.
Now, there's definitely some positives to it. I'm all for the student athletes being able to brand themselves and earn money through social media, but I think people need to understand that. I tell the guys all the time, it's not real. Right? It's not real. It's a small circle of people. When you think about it, even if you're somebody that has 1.5 million followers, right? That's a real small number when you think about it's billions of people just in China.
Exactly.
So you're not that important, and not that many people are really worried about or caring about what you're doing. But it's such a hassle to get the kids to understand, like, that's not real. What's real is everyday life. It's not about what somebody tweets about you or says in your comments. None of that stuff really matters at the end of the day. So that's the negative part of it. If people could use it, just to increase their brand and things of that nature, then I think it's positive. But I don't know too many people that's not going to read the comments.
Exactly.
You hear celebrities talking about that all the time. They don't check the comments. Yeah, they do. Exactly. It's just in our nature. You want to know what people are saying about you. So I have social media myself, but I rarely post. I guess my wife calls me like an Instagram creep. That's what she says. I just scroll through whatever. But I don't post because I don't want people to know a whole lot about me.
Exactly.
You know, or my family, or make any judgments when you really don't know me. I don't want them to give them any ammunition to say anything about me like that. You know, there's a lot of lies and stuff out there that are getting told on people. So he's got to be careful with social media.
Exactly.
There's good and bad.
Yeah, fans do that a lot too. I had did a study, like that's one of the things I actually found out, that like they try to find everything about you.
Yeah.
So and they're gonna find it because they see you as bigger than life.
Right.
And when you do something, you know, that or they think you did something allegedly, then it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a problem. They say this, that, and
it's
this,
so bad. I had a guy I coached, Tariq Cohen at A&T.
Oh wow.
So he got drafted in the 4th round, and then he made All-Pro his 2nd year, and you know, kind of blew up on Twitter and all that stuff. And some of the stuff that people used to say to him in the comments, I don't know how he dealt with it. And he would fire back every now and then, but for the most part, the people that were, you know, fighting for him was, you know, me and his friends and people like that were getting mad about the comments. He actually trained himself not to let that stuff bother him, but I told him I don't know how he does it. You know, because you post one thing, you could be saying anything, something about your kids, and somebody has something to say about it. Imagine Kevin Durant or Steph Curry and those guys. Like, that's why he came up with the burner.
The burner, that was the burner account.
Yeah. Just wore him out. You know, you get tired of people talking about you. But I don't know. It's a lot of money can be made on it too. So you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
I know now. I don't know if you heard your players talk about, but they got the Fizz app now.
What's that?
It's like an app they have online. It's like a new app it's like from school to school. It started at Stanford University, and so basically it's anonymous, but they can talk about whoever. So they talk about students, athletes, just regular students.
And it's everywhere?
So it's at every school, but it's like...
Is it specific to that school?
Specific to that school, so those people can see it, but it's anonymous. So yeah.
See, that's what you get.
They have that now.
Now that's when I think that's going to cause some major mental health issues.
It's already
because you can just lie about somebody and put it out there, and you know, once it's out there in the universe, people don't really do any research behind it.
They don't.
Now that's one thing I try to do. If I'm on, don't judge me because I got TikTok, but I know I'm a little too old for that. But I do like the app.
TikTok. You don't be on it.
But when I see something, I automatically try to research it and find a reference and say, is this true or not? Because if you're just scrolling through, you might say, Jamie Foxx. Like I saw something about him where he had a brain aneurysm on TikTok, and then I go look it up, and like his daughter didn't say anything about that. She said he had a medical issue.
Exactly.
You know, so I can imagine. Anonymous too?
Yeah, it's anonymous.
Like everything's anonymous.
All of it's anonymous.
Like, so there's no usernames or anything?
They can put they could put a username handle, but it comes up as anonymous unless they put a username handle. And they usually don't. They usually do anonymous. They just talk bad about people. Really, they be trying to find the T. So
it's called the Fizz app.
It's called the Fizz app. It's at every school. It was started by, like I said, a PWI school in Stanford.
Do they have the at A&T? They had it. It was like the what was it? The shade room. Cat shade room.
Oh, okay.
So messy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so messy. Like, I stopped looking at it. And I like messy stuff. My wife got me into watching Real Housewives. Yeah, so I like a little bit of it. But that stuff, I was like, nah. Because they started saying stuff about my players. And I'm like, I don't want to hear none of that.
Exactly. That's how the Fizz app is. Like, it just talks about, like, my teammates, other sports and stuff like that. They just, it's like, why? Like, why? Like, I went ahead and deleted it myself. I had it for the first week and a half. I was like, man, talking bad about me. I'm like, I don't even bother these people. So it's like,
somebody said something bad about you?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. They always.
Then some other people don't stand a chance if they're talking bad about you.
That's what I'm saying.
You an alpha?
I'm an alpha.
What did you go over with Bryce?
Oh no, I actually crossed Bryce.
Really?
I crossed Bryce and Cam, so I came in spring 21.
Okay.
Like, I was a sophomore, like my first year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw y'all in there. stepping, and I was,
Okay.
practicing and stuff.
Oh yeah, practicing.
And I was, telling some of the guys on the team, like, I encouraged them, and a lot of coaches are opposed to that, but I encourage them, like, join a fraternity, join an organization, but not for the reason that you think.
Yeah, not for
like that stuff is going to help you.
Yeah, it's a lot of networking.
It's so much networking when you think about, because I was telling them, like, in the coaching profession, I don't belong to anything, but in the coaching profession, I have most of my friends are Omegas, and I just saw how it was helping them. I was like, "Are you serious?" Oh,
it can get you,
the bros, and
it can get you a job. It can get you in the door someplace.
It can, and I've seen it work.
And even if you're just Greek in general, like it's like, oh, you're Alpha, okay.
Yeah.
He might be a Kappa, you're like,
right.
Oh.
You got something in common.
Yeah, you're Greek.
Right. So I think that's something I'm trying to get my guys to get more involved in. I don't care what it is. Networking. Life after football.
Yeah.
It's something they really need to concentrate on. It doesn't, if it's not a fraternity or organization on campus.
Exactly.
I don't know anything. Just expand your network.
Have a reason to have a voice on campus, because they that's one thing. That's why I got involved, really, because they said athletes don't do nothing. Now, when I got here, they used to say athletes don't do nothing. Athletes don't do nothing.
Right.
So like I just started. Okay, let me be the one, the first, and then started getting people like Bryce in the fraternity and Jamari. But Jamari came in with me. I don't know if you know Jamari Brown. He played. I think
he played football.
He played football. I think
he was before me.
Yeah, he's before you.
Yeah, but that's what. Every campus I've been at, like, the athletes always get a bad rap.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of it is well deserved.
Yeah.
It is, but you got to kind of change it. And I think what you got to change is when they come in, that's not who we are. But a lot of guys come in and think that's how you got to act. I got to be this macho guy. I got to be this womanizer. I got to do all this stuff because that's what athletes do, rather than thinking about, no, let me join an organization. Let me carry myself the right way. Let me network. That's, if I have one regret from college, and I love my college experience, it's that the only people that I was cool with and hung out with were athletes. Just strictly football players and a couple of guys on the basketball team or a track team, but nobody else. Didn't even, and so now, if I go back, I don't get to because of my profession of coaching, but if I go back to homecoming, I'm not going to know half the people because I didn't take the time to get to know them when we were in school, and a lot of them are probably like super successful right now. But I was in my little shell and didn't get out of it, so you get out, meet everybody.
And I think that's how my pops was too. So he told me he's
when
always.
When did your father graduate?
In the
60s?
In the 84.
84?
Yeah, 84. My grandfather.
60s, 70s, in the 80s, and I was in school in the 90s. And I would say part of the 90s too. Like, my dad, he knows everybody at the school, at Central, that graduated. And then my friends and cousins in the 70s and 80s, they're like the same way. But, they were a lot smaller then too. But still, it wasn't just the athletes or the guys in the fraternity. They knew everybody. Yeah. And that's why they're so close. And that's why those people have so much pride compared to, like, this new generation of HBCU folks. Exactly. We have the pride that our parents did.
Exactly.
We got to get it back, though.
You got to. But thank you for your time.
No problem. Anytime. It's my pleasure. Anything you need, man, you let me know.
Most definitely.